This week, we're looking at two 10 grand sport hatches, pitching Citroen's new C2 GT, the fastest C2 yet with 110 horsepower and a manual gearbox, head-to-head with the only thing that comes close to it for the money, Ford's Sport Car. The latest and fastest version of one of my favourite handling super minis. First up is the Ford, a car that's always cried out for a bit more power. Well, now with this sports car, it's finally got an extra 25 bhp. They've flared out its arches and given it lower tweaked suspension so it handles even better. It's got soft-ish brakes, which sometimes feel like they could be a bit sharper and yet do the job really well. It's got a great steering feel and a lovely gearbox. With a final lap time of 57 seconds. So, how will the new C2 GT compare with Ford's superb little sport car? For all the fuss that Citroen have been making about this being a rally homologation special and sticking a GT badge on the back, I have to say I'm a bit disappointed having stepped into the interior. The so-called sport seats are more like soft armchairs, and there's nothing that sporty about the feel of this chassis either. It's very soft with more roll than the Ford, and the gear change is definitely a lot looser. But one thing that isn't looser are the brakes. Whilst the Fords might have been a bit soft, the Citroens are sharp, to say the least. In fact, it's very difficult to modulate to get that right bit of feel. And worst of all, if you brake too hard, the brake assist comes in and not only suddenly lurches the car to a much slower speed, but at the same time sticks the hazard lights on. But it does have an extra 15 horsepower, so will that be enough to overcome the nimble Ford? Only the time will tell. By radar, it's edged 0.3 of a second in front. And by the hairpin, it's stretched that to half a second. But there's still the high-speed left-right-left of Douglas Mountview to come. Steady. And while it doesn't gain any more time, it hangs on to pip the sport car and bathe in a moment of glory. Head-to-head, the Citroen C2 GT is the fastest.